My first question was, I wanted to ask you your opinion of American journalist Matt Drudge. Do you consider him to be a friend or foe of your open government movement? Next, I wanted to ask you about Senator Rand Paul. He's a libertarian. He's also a vocal critic of big government. I'm wondering about your opinion on him. And finally, I'd like to know what you think of the hacktivist organization Anonymous. Thank you.
So, 3 bites at the apple here. Okay, it means I have to be quick on each one. Matt Drudge is a news media innovator, and he took off, I don't know, about 8 years ago in relation to the Monica Lewinsky scandal was when he first became really famous by publishing information that the establishment press in the United States would not. It is as a result of the self-censorship of the establishment press in the United States that gave Matt Drudge such a platform. And so, of course, he should be applauded for breaking a lot of that censorship. I think as time has gone by, Matt Drudge was mainly involved in collecting interesting rumors that look like they might be true and publishing them. The social media has largely sort of taken that place. His political positions, well, you know, some I agree with, some I don't, but he doesn't have that much of an influence on Australia or in the sort of work that I do. In relation to Rand Paul, well, I'm a big admirer of Ron Paul and Rand Paul for their very principled positions in the US Congress on a number of issues. They have been the strongest supporters of the fight against the US attack on WikiLeaks and on me in the US Congress. Similarly, they have been the strongest opponents of drone warfare and extrajudicial executions. And so that's quite an interesting phenomenon in the United States, the position of the libertarian Republican, for want of a better description, right, coming from a principle of non-violence, which is the American libertarian intellectual tradition, that produces interesting results. So non-violence, well, don't go and invade a foreign country. Non-violence, don't force people at the barrel of a gun to serve in the US Army. Non-violence, don't extort taxes from people to the federal government with a policeman. Similarly, there are other aspects of non-violence in relation to abortion that they hold. I think some of these positions that are held by Rand Paul, I can see how they come from the same underlying libertarian principle. I think the world is often more complex, and by taking a no doubt principled but sometimes simplistic position, you end up undermining the principle. There's sort of short-term visions of a principle and long-term visions of a principle. It's quite hard to meld these together. In relation to Anonymous, Anonymous is not a group. Anonymous is an internet social movement. It is a part of internet culture. And like any culture, it has good people and it has bad people. But amongst the good people, there are some very courageous people who have done great things, including supporting this organization, supporting me, supporting Bradley Manning, and many others. For example, the worldwide banking blockade on us by US financial services companies started up as a result of political pressure in Washington, D.C., emanating from Lieberman and who knows who else behind the surface. That was attacked by campaigners associated with Anonymous who engaged in digital sit-ins against PayPal, for example, one of the blockading companies along with Visa, MasterCard, Western Union, etc. That blockade has been found to be illegal in the Supreme Court of Iceland, in the European Parliament, by the Council of Europe. It continues, and despite it being found illegal, the PayPal 13 activists from Anonymous are being tried, threatened with jail in the United States. Here in the UK, people have been sentenced to prison in part for their online protests which didn't destroy anything, which simply had the result of blocking the news sites of PayPal and Visa for a few hours or minutes.
Josiah, did you have any follow-up questions you wanted to put to Julian Assange?
Just one. If you've noticed, Mr. Assange, there's been a swell of support for libertarians, the Pauls, Ron Paul, Rand Paul, and other libertarian figures among American youth, especially college-age youth and others. What do you think this means for the U.S.? How would you interpret this as it pertains to our political future?
Well, the way we see things at the moment, nearly every Democrat in Congress has been co-opted by the Obama administration or co-opted by DC social networks. The economically successful part of the Republican Party is often in bed with the war industry, completely in bed. So there's now an extreme center in the United States where the Democratic administration and a large chunk of the Republican Party have come together and are pushing forward very fast in a dangerous direction that compromises the future of US democracy. That is not a conservative movement. A conservative movement says, hold on to what you've got. Don't change what's working. Be cautious about bold changes to the society. So the Republican Party, insofar as it is coupled together with the US war industry, is not a conservative party at all. And the libertarian aspect of the Republican Party is presently the only useful political voice, really, in the US Congress. It will be the driver that shifts the United States around. It's not going to come from the Democrats. It's not going to come from Ralph Nader. It's not going to come from the co-opted parts of the Republican Party. The only hope, as far as electoral politics are concerned in the United States, presently is the libertarian section of the Republican Party.
All right, thanks for your answer there. Very detailed answer, Julian Assange. And